Hi everyone, it's Miriam with a Y. A couple of weeks ago, my friend and fellow YouTuber Sharon Lindley of Vivid Days made a beautiful resin painting of jellyfish using pigments she'd never used before and that I've never used before either. Knowing that Sharon and I are friends, Leslie Onstad of colorart.com sent us both several of her Rezin Arte Luster Pigments to try. Now, we were excited, and we decided to do this as a challenge. Sharon went first, so she got to pick the theme and the color palette, and I have to now answer her challenge. I will link to Sharon's video in the description box below this video so that you can watch her make her amazing piece. So, I have to use blues, purple, spiced ginger, as my colors from the Rezin Arte line, as well as some Bling It colors from the Color Art Primary Elements line. And I have to make jellyfish. I've never made jellyfish, Sharon. I don't know the first thing about making jellyfish. But the colors look awesome in the jars, and Sharon squealed in delight when she started using them. So along with my jellyfish panic, I'm super excited to show all of you these amazing pigments. They are beautiful. Okay, let's do this. Since I anticipate having fun exploring these at first, this will be a two-part video. Today we'll check out the quality of the colors and see how these pigments work in resin. For my substrate, I taped up the sides of an 11 by 14 canvas panel using blue tape in such a way as to make a resin holding dam around the piece so that I can layer resin without worrying about it falling over the edge. I made sure to reinforce the corners and secure the tape well along the edges to prevent even the slightest chance of leaks. To make life simple, I'm working on a Lazy Susan. My piece will end up hanging vertically, but for the sake of this video, I'll do most of the work in a horizontal position so that I can be as zoomed in as possible for you. As I tend to, I'm going to use Clearcast 7050 for this project. It's my go-to resin, and I trust it. It never lets me down. My canvas is 11 by 14, so in theory, I need 154 milliliters for a layer because 11 times 14 is 154. That's how I determine how much resin I need. Since I'm going to be painting in layers, I don't really need a particularly thick layer for my primary layer, which is more just a color base. So I'm going to start out with just 90 and see where that takes me. If I need more, I can always add more. Now, with my resin mixed up, I'm going to add some to my first color, which is Azure Mist Resin. Let's see what that's like. I have no idea how much of this I should be adding, so I'm gonna mix up almost a full ounce. Ordinarily, when I mix a mica powder, I mix a teeny little bit of resin in first to break up the granules of the mica in that little amount of resin, and then I add more resin to it. It makes the mix smoother and easier to blend. But this pigment powder has something built into it that makes it super easy to mix into resin, and it really is amazing how well that went in. Oh my gosh, this color I have not seen a color like this. It's kind of like midnight blue, but with a teal kick to it. So you know I love that. It's gorgeous. Okay, now the next color. See, I don't even know that I needed that much powder. I have no idea. But, because I know I want rich color, I was possibly generous. I don't know. Leslie might watch the video and go, oh my gosh, girl, you did not need this much. So, that's how much I put in my cup, to give you an idea. So, I don't know. That may be more than I need. I have no idea, but I don't want to skimp. This color is Belize Blues. Yeah, this mixes so easily. It's like mixing, I'm trying to think of what to compare it to. It blends in almost like this wasn't a powder, but it was a liquid. Oh, this is stunning too. Oh, Sharon, I get it now. Because Sharon was like oohing and eyeing in her video. And I thought, oh my gosh, really? Are they that awesome? And yeah, she's right. They are that awesome. See, okay, Mary, I just want to do this because it's just so pretty, but I gotta move along so that my resin doesn't start to cure on me. Now, this color is Glacier Ice, not one of the colors that Sharon used. Yeah, I'm gonna have fun with this. See, and I don't even know how long I need to stir because it looks like stirring just 2 or 3 times and boom, it's done. But just to be safe, I'll stir more, but I'm thinking I probably don't even need to. Wow. Yeah, I don't know what she's got mixed into this powder, but it blends in like no mica powder ever is going to. Next color, this is Aquamarine. Look at that. It's just awesome. Let us pour. And like I said, the painting is gonna be a vertical painting, but I'm gonna leave it horizontal just for the sake of the video so that you can see the whole thing. I know I want my darkest color. Oh, it's killer awesome beautiful. So I'm using these a silicone brush to sort of paint it on and get it into the corners. Now for my next color, I kind of want like an ombre kind of effect. Then I can make decisions and changes as we progress. If I don't like it, I can change it in another layer. And I want to make sure that I get it right up to the edge. Now I'm just sort of offloading the brush with the color that's on it. Now, I got these on eBay. I've not used it before. It seemed like a good idea. We'll see. They may end up being disposable. In theory, it's silicone. I should be able to pull off the resin when I'm done. I'm not sure. Because it may just make it one big block and I won't be able to pull off the silicone. That's very possible. But, you know, the dream's alive. They were super cheap. I mean, I'm a blue addict, but seriously, these are beautiful. I love, there's like a little bit of this blue blending into that blue. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty, you guys. It's so pretty. Oh, I'm gonna want to make a beach pour with these. Like a metallic beach. Okay, even if this brush ends up being a disposable, which would be a shame, it's really fun to use. And the Aquamarine, which kind of looks green in the cup. Okay, I really don't even care what the name is. It's just pretty. I don't care what the name is. It doesn't really matter. If you order it, I think it's more green, at least in my light. And I'm using daylight bulbs. All right, now I want to start kind of giving some movement to the mica, because mica has that ability to sort of remember how you spread it. So right now all the lines kind of go this way, and I want them to sort of undulate more. So that's the plan now. And it'll also let me do a little blending and want some life plantage down here, maybe. Some corally looking thing. I don't know. Not that the water would do this in real life. I just don't want the spread by paintbrush look. So every now and then I kind of get down to the canvas, but it repairs itself. And even if some canvas does show up a little bit, I can fix that with putting a jellyfish there or putting a piece of coral there. So I'm not too concerned about that. Playing with the brush again. Yeah, I like the way the brush moves better than the sticks. Definitely more flowy and more satisfying. I love seeing these colors blend into each other. I didn't have a definite plan for how I was going to blend the colors, so I'm just moving them and seeing how they work together, and this is so fun to see. But since I'm loving this color so much, and I still have a little bit of clear resin left, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix up a little bit more of the Glacier Blue because I love it. And I've got to hurry up because my resin is starting to set. I'm even going to bring some of it down here just for little pops of light. Oh, it's so pretty. Okay. Get these worked in. Oh, and I kind of like that the resin is setting up a little bit because it's making very interesting streaks. Okay, now with the water, pretty much how I think I'm going to want it. Still got some clear left, which is kind of what my plan was. And I am going to mix some up now that it's gotten nice and thick. And the reason I wanted it thick is so that it behaves and it stays exactly where I put it. Though this layer is thin enough that that hasn't been a problem. So now what I want to add is a little ginger spice. And I've done something pretty risky. I've taken my gloves off because I don't envision touching the resin anymore. I'm going to mix that in. Ooh, that's like a glorious coppery color. Oh, that is really, wow. Look at the fire of that. So I'm going to use my little bamboo skewer and I just want to paint some corally looking stuff down here. Yeah, that's what we're going to call it. We're going to say it's corally looking stuff because this whole thing is a fantasy. It's going to be like an alien ocean. The jellyfish will probably not look realistic either, and that will be fine. So I just want some branchy stuff. When I was watching Sharon's video and I saw this color, I thought, yeah, that's what I'm going to do with it. It pops against this so well. And so, like I said, I waited until the resin was really thick and dying to cure so that hopefully this won't sink in too much and will stay nice and visible. Okay, now that that's done, the last thing I'm going to do before putting this to bed for this layer is I'm just going to run the heat gun over everything to pop any obvious bubbles, and also I'm going to soften some of these lines just a little bit. So the heat will do that because it'll soften the resin. It's pretty well into setting up now, but heating it will make it go a little more liquid and relax some of these lines. If you're a fan of resin, alcohol inks, and acrylic pouring, make sure to subscribe. I share tips, tricks, and techniques in all three. If you're hoping to explore and learn even more than I share here, become a patron on Patreon. Just last week, I gave patrons 2 exclusive videos about fun new supplies, how to use them in creative ways, and some fun ideas, and a little couple extras. And there are more perks there too. Now, in the comments, let me know what you think of these pigments. They come in over 30 colors. Which would you want? Also, tell me your guesses as to how many and which species of jellyfish I ended up making for part 2. Links for everything that I used can be found at kit.com/MiriamsNature. There's a clickable link for that in the description box below this video. For extra easy shopping, once you're at Kit, you'll see a picture of everything I used that you can click right on to get you to the product. I'll also put any coupon codes I may have with each of the products. Now, to play a part in making these videos possible, use any Amazon link of mine right before you buy anything on that site. Like seriously, even toothpaste. It'll cost you absolutely nothing, and you'll have helped make another free video possible right here on this channel. How awesome is that? Well, I'm having a really fun effect happen that I wasn't expecting. These little, for lack of a better word, I'm going to call them cells. They're not really craters in the resin as much as craters in the mica. It's kind of cool. So it's kind of making this sort of bubbly texture in the mica. This is fun. I love when I get things that I don't plan on, and they're pretty and interesting. It's the neatest thing. So it's a reaction to the heat of my heat gun, because I did it in some other spots and it just kind of blooms. So I'm gonna do it right there so you can see. So it kind of gets all these little bubbly, cratery kind of things. And you never, sometimes they're big like this, sometimes they're kind of little like that. I don't know, but I dig it. It's like I can paint a texture with my heat gun. See, it kind of bubbles up afterwards. I kind of was really into the lines I made, but this is so interesting that I don't even care about the lines now. Yeah, I don't know how to make these big ones happen because I like those. I want more of these, and I don't know how I'm gonna wanna do that. Do a lot of that just for fun. All right, I'm putting this to bed, and I'm calling it a night. Thank you for hanging out with me. Let your creative nature shine this week. See you on Saturday for part 2. Or earlier, if I can squeeze in some editing time before then. Till then, bye now.